Yeah, let me medicate. I need something to get me in the right place of mind. No snakes hanging around any place of mine. I'm trying to build an empire, we in two different states of mind. I'm trying to escape the confines of my city limits, but shit get risky as making one of these shorties and misses. Gotta keep a low profile nowadays, I'm staying out the way, you single niggas. Wildin' with these low rates of retention, jumping at the first chance you get cause she showed you some attention. I love this life out the spotlight.
Welcome to another episode of Lab Rats and Loaded Minds. I'm Mark Boy Jr. We got Coach Twan. We got John in the back. We here for Game 3 now. Recap. This one went the Spurs way. So, I'm a little happy today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got Spurs in 7.
Spurs in 7. Word.
My 7 is alive and well. Can they come 2 for 2? Can we win 2 in Madison Square Garden is the question.
I mean, time will tell. I feel like we got the response we was looking for today. Shout out to Wemby. I mean, he was the talk of the town for what happened again in Game 2. The costly turnover, and then obviously, like we said before, the shot just didn't fall at the end. So, great response from your star player. Great response that, you would expect and want to see. And again, shout out to the adjustments. I was listening to Jared Brownridge, he's one of my vets my first year. He had Haywood Highsmith on, who played for his Suns right now, and he was saying like the playoffs is you're adjusting to the adjustments of those adjustments of those adjustments. Like that's literally what the playoffs is, and like, we've been seeing this chess match with how they've been guarding Jalen Brunson. Even with Cat tonight, we saw them put the smaller guy on him. And again, I don't know if that was necessarily effective. I feel like the Knicks kind of went away from playing through him, and I think that was working in games 1 and 2. So again, that's another thing to go back to the film and just, look and see how they can be better in game 4. But even then, it was only, a 4-point game? They lost by 4. So, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way, shots don't fall, and that could be the game too.
I say, Dylan Harper, if you can hear us out there, I need you to come get with the Lab Rats. I'll be your #1 fan, my boy. He's played a great game, man. He continues to show why he is one of the top rookies. I can't ask for nothing about my guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of y'all talking about the Spurs one. I told you I'm on here to have a good time today. I'm smiling. The Spurs won. My 7's still alive. You feel me, John? They can't see you back there, but my 7 is still alive, man. So it'll be even great if we can win in 6, but I ain't gonna do that.
Wait,
7.
hold on. Oh, I thought you was holding your thumb up. I was about to say, hey, yo. I thought you was holding up 8 fingers, bro. I was about to be like, hold on, gang. Hold on. I know it's late. Hold on. Yeah, the Spurs definitely put pressure on the refs tonight, too. 32 free throw attempts. Knicks had, 22? But again, 10 more free throws than the other team. Again, like putting pressure on the refs, putting pressure on the other team to, adjust to how the game is being officiated. Again, like playoff basketball, I do think that the physicality level has been good. And yeah, they're officiating the game as such. Just going back to Wemby, like I said it in game 1 when we was over here, and I feel like I said it in game 2, like, how are we gonna make the game easier for him? And I think the biggest misconception with these unicorn type footer that can dribble a little bit better than the average big man, and they really try to compare everybody to Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, there is only one Kevin Durant. Like, we haven't seen anybody as fluid as him, being 7 foot, being able to handle and get into his jumpers and get into his offense. And I think what happens too much with these footers like a Chet, Evan Mobley, Wemby is like we just expect them to be these perimeter-oriented guys when they're 7 feet. Like we have to, I don't want to say go back to the olden days, but like it's just a simple basketball thing. Like with Wemby, tonight he did it. There's clips to prove it. Setting good screens, sealing under the basket. I'm fine with catch and shoot open threes. Like you can shoot the ball. I'm not trying to take that away from you, but like there's a time and place for everything. And even in the short roll game. I'm mad that he got a 3, but I wasn't mad at how he got it because it was a short roll. They threw it to him early. He kicked it to the corner. he backpedaled, respaced, and shot a three. Like that's fine. That's fine. We'll live with those. But you know, when he tries to ISO too much, or they just try to depend on him to make all these decisions and plays, it's like we're not helping him right now. In the playoffs, again, everybody is dialed in and into their detail, into their game plan, and it's so much harder to score. So for Wemby, a guy that's not necessarily like a one-on-one player, the screens, the seals, the lobs too. I didn't even mention the lobs. Like rolling hard to the basket. There is nobody on the Knicks. Maybe Mitchell Robinson, but everybody else, even Mitchell Robinson, is still giving up 3-4 inches, and we're not even talking about the wingspan too. Right. So it's like he was able to get some lobs tonight, which we haven't really seen much of. So again, shout out to the Spurs for adjusting. Shout out to Wemby for making the game easier on himself, and I'm sure the coaching staff has been, deliberating with him after the games, especially diving into film, because that's a film thing too. It's like, what in game 1 and game 2 didn't work? All right, cool. Like, what can I improve on? What is the adjustment that we're going to expect from the other team? And then how am I going to adjust to that? And I feel like they did that tonight too.
And we talk about when you say like everything is so detailed and so like on the game plan, we continually is shouting out Jalen Brunson. Not a loud Jalen Brunson game today. Not very loud, Jalen Brunson out there, but very efficient, like you said when we were watching. Still putting up points, still keeping his team within closing distance. We still got to shout Jalen Brunson out for the game he had as well.
I feel like efficient. We use it. Efficient is loose right now in the finals, because I was seeing a lot of discourse saying like they respect Brunson for scoring and emptying the clip, which is true. Like I am not mad at him emptying the clip. Like this is the finals you're supposed to do, but I feel like sometimes we saw tonight where I feel like the Knicks kind of reverted back to what was not working, at least in the games that they have lost in the playoffs, which is when they play one-on-one ball or they let Brunson just dominate the ball, they're so much easier to stop. And that's, I wanted to get into Anunoby or OG just because of like, I think as a role player in the NBA and even just in general, like we talk about it in a high school game, like, and I think it's in college too, like if you can attack closeouts correct, more than enough, you'll be an effective player. Like Anunoby doesn't have any, like he probably has some wiggle, but like he literally plays downhill, like straight line drives. If nobody closes out to him, if somebody closes out short, he's letting it fly. Like he might give you a jab, and he might play around a little bit.
Jab.
Mr. Jab, yeah. Nah, for real, he might do that from time to time, but for the most part, like I want all the young players to watch how he is being effective. Like it's nothing super dynamic or like just rocket science spectacular. Like it's a very simple game. Like
playing defense,
playing hard. Like but yeah, like with Brunson, I think and OG had a good game, but like if you look at Mikal Bridges 2 points, I think that's just based on the fact that the ball wasn't necessarily hopping around. I know Josh Hart finally got it going on offense tonight with 4 threes, and but it just takes away when they started letting Brunson, play one-on-one a lot and dominate the ball. It just takes away from everybody else. So,
right. And I don't want y'all to think I'm just Spurs, but we can say a lot of that came from them not blitzing so much like you said on the defensive side. Not being able to have Shem get these open looks, not being able to have McCare get these open looks. They were out there literally trying to find open 3 looks. And like you said, it's basketball, it's finals, some land, some won't. It's a pressure situation. So you might have some times where some land, you might have some times, some don't. But just being able to take that away and see your game look totally different from when y'all was blitzing at him so hard. Now they spraying, and it was easy for them to get open 3 looks. This game looked like it was very hard for them to get open 3 looks. So maybe that is a key to success for them.
Yeah, and I think, again, with playing through Cat, I think Cat is still he's the mismatch in the series, and I think that's where they kind of started losing the game tonight when you couldn't get them in like the 3-on-2 advantage situation out of the blitz. Like, I just think that when they were playing mismatch with the blitz and not blitzing in the first 2 games, they were leaning on Cat and playing through Cat. And I feel like tonight, I don't even think I saw many blitzes. I I think whenever Brunson got a switch on like a Wimby, they started to bring another defender. And that was the only time we kind of saw it. But other than that, they were playing him straight up, switching, guard to guard, switching, even some of the bigs. Like, yeah, I think that the Knicks going into game 4 need to go back to what was working, and that's playing through Cat, because I feel like he is the mismatch. He had it going in games 1 and 2. And again, I don't even think it's all scoring. Like, the amount of times that he can drive, touch the paint, and sometimes it might not even necessarily be like off of a help spray out, or it could just be like a DHO and get somebody else going downhill. Like, I think that stuff doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and I think that's what was working for them in games 1 and 2. Because I feel like, again, they only lost by 4 points, and Cat having 11 and 8 and only 1 assist. The 1 assist is really what was, I thought, like the most interesting part, just because in games 1 and 2 he was finding open seams a lot. This is a good series though. I mean, I think for basketball fans, I was joking saying I wanted them to sweep them, but at the same time, like I already said, I want to see a good basketball. I want to see 6 to 7 games. Like you watch a whole 82 game season, and you get to the playoffs, and this is what you want to see. The best 2 teams dug it off. So
right, and then we got to shout out YN number 2 on the Spurs team as well. Stephon Castle had a great game today. I think y'all want to say he had 15 plus in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah.
But I believe it was like 15 plus in the first half. Just off of him being crafty, him playing he looked himself today. His last 2 games, he looked a little more shaky. Turnovers, not that great defense. But today it looked like he put everything together, and they were able to lean on.
I mean, I expect us to win the next 3.
Wemby was able to lean on him a little bit, and it was taking a lot of pressure off of Wemby as well. So, gotta shout out Stephon Castle, just being a player he is, being able to do things on his own. He had a lot of and-ones today.
He probably had the biggest shot of the game.
Biggest shot of the game,
three at the end of the shot clock. I thought tonight this was probably his most decisive game, just based on just taking what the defense was giving him. Kept his turnovers down with 2 tonight. And again, in the playoffs, like, I think obviously you don't want to ever say it's okay to turn over the ball, but again, like, because everybody's so detailed, sometimes turnovers just gonna happen. Like, these are the best players in the world. So yeah, to see him tonight just be decisive and just be effective, like, bro, there's nobody that can stop you getting downhill. Now, I do think there's still room for him to grow in that mid-range area, just because a lot of times they're going to give him a couple steps.
Right.
I just think you have to at this point, just because he's so good at getting downhill. And he's explosive. He's one of the best athletes in the league. But I think there's still a lot of room for him to grow, even though he had a good game. I think, just going into that film room and really watching to see where your spots can be. Again, like, film is everything right now. So, but yeah, definitely shout out to him again too for responding. I know he had a rough first 2 games, but I mean, he seemed to have it going tonight.
Yeah, and he changed a lot of that stuff that he was able to pick up on from the first 2 games. Him stopping in that mid-paint area. He was more downhill, everything, like you said. What
and
he was doing, it was
defensively.
Defensively. I said that as well. Yeah. But everything he was doing today looked like he was doing it with a purpose, per se. Like, not stopping at that mid-paint, looking to throw the ball or looking to hit a pump fake and figure out if you can get an outlet. He was going straight downhill all day today. So, shout out to Stephon Castle.
Mitch Johnson, I know but I think it's so important that we got to give flowers in real time, because again, shout out to Mitch Johnson for just trusting in his guys. Like, the blitzing wasn't working, and they were getting in scrambles a lot, and I feel like that was the games 1 and 2. But tonight, he was like, look, we're going to be switching all these ball screens anytime they come together. Like, just make sure somebody got them, and then all the other 4 will load up, will stunt to the ball a little bit, but for the most part, like, mano y mano, like, strap up, and let's see, just make it tough. And to me, like, again, I know we're giving, there's some gray area in the playoffs just because, again, the detail of the game plan, but I mean, 32 points on 25 shots, I feel like we did our job as a defense. Like, 11 for 25. Shot the ball from 3 pretty well. I feel like he got some easy looks there, but for the most part, Jalen Brunson wants to get downhill. Like, the 3-pointers is a part of his game, but he wants to get into that paint, play off 2 feet, try to get to the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they did a good job tonight, even though he had 32, but 25 shots, that's a lot of shots. Again, you got McHale with 2, you had Cat with 11. Even a guy like Shaman, he took 8 shots, but those looks that he had were tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, credit to Miss Johnson and credit to that Spurs coaching staff for really, trusting their guys tonight to really just get it done. And again, we said it for game 2, like, it's back against the wall situation. Like, we in the Garden, we saw the stars tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I definitely, we got to get on our network, because I would definitely want to talk to one of the players in this series, just asking them their perspective on playing in the Garden in the modern era versus, like, obviously they weren't there for the Knicks runs back in the day, but it's just a different time. I feel like media and pop culture is just so much more relevant now.
Yeah, in a city like New York.
Yeah, with the access that we got with our phones, it's like everybody was there.
Yeah. For y'all to have to barricade the Garden, and says enough. Like, that says enough.
I wasn't even gonna mention Orange Man, because like I feel like he don't need to be mentioned, but yeah, like, and I will say that's the one thing that's frustrating, just as being a fan. I was blessed my mom got season tickets for us when I was younger, and I was going to all these games, and I just think now it's just the purity of the game is being lost. Like, we're putting the fans that actually been watching these games and been Knicks fans, some of them are just getting priced out.
Right, yeah.
Tickets is $10,000,
$4,000 to just get in to go to nosebleeds is ridiculous.
That's insane, bro.
It's $4,000. That's a lot of people car note and rent.
And and I know cost of living plays a factor in that city, but still though, that's
come on, man. That's a lot of money.
Because I know some people tonight, like, and that's just the beauty of sports. Like, somebody will really miss a rent payment to go
see
the finals.
that.
Yeah, it's historic. So that's I guess you could say that's the business of basketball. But
yeah, man, I mean, that's the trajectory we go on now, man. Everything is flash, glimmer, and gold, bruh. So let's strap up and get ready for this one. Hopefully, Lab Rats and Loaded Minds is glitter and gold and flash pretty soon.
man, of course,
You
getting
know what I'm
invited
saying?
for free.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't paying.
Yeah, for 10, 12,
200.
What? Excuse me.
300.
Let me call this dude real quick.
No.
Hey, bro.
I'll sit up there. Just bring me down after the game. You feel me?
Do my pass. Let me do my little conversation. I'm good. Not much to touch on. It was a good game by both teams. Hopefully we keep going to the wire with this. Just, hopefully all prediction come through with the 7. If not, it's all right. You win some, you lose some. But thank y'all for listening to another episode of Live Rats and Loaded Minds. You got Coach Twan over here. You got John in the background. Your boy Aubrey. Catch y'all on the next late night recap on Game 4.